Hello everyone, the Snowman here, and I've got another NBA team season preview today. I'll be looking at the Philadelphia 76ers. If you haven't already caught my Clippers or Lakers team season previews, please check those out as well. They're already out. I'm also going to be coming out with a more comprehensive NBA predictions video soon too, so please stay on the lookout for that as well. But today it's all about the 76ers, their depth chart, coaching, star players, expectations, and then we'll maybe make a few predictions at the end. But let's dive into this depth chart. So as we pull up this lineup for Philly, ESPN's Zach Lowe placed this roster number 1 in his annual league pass rankings, so perhaps the most exciting team in the league. And at point guard, they've got the third-year man Ben Simmons coming back. They've also got Shake Milton and Trey Burke. Then at shooting guard, the new guy from Miami, Josh Richardson, an excellent two-way wing at that 2 guard. Tobias Harris then the starting 3, along with James Ennis and Matisse Thybulle. Power forward then, another new guy from the Boston Celtics. Horford signed this summer, so he'll be the 6'10 power forward there, backed up by Mike Scott. And then the superstar, the real name of the franchise, Joel Embiid at center. Also Jonah Bolden and Kyle O'Quinn at the center position. But there's so much length in this starting 5. It's one of the tallest starting units of all time. You've got Simmons at 6'10, Richardson 6'6, Harris 6'9, Horford 6'10, and then Embiid 7 foot plus. So it could be a top 3 team defensively, especially with Horford and Embiid anchoring things. And I think more depth than last year as well. The 2 exciting prospects in Smith and Thybulle. Thybulle's been great defensively in the preseason, so on paper, it's a very good-looking depth chart. All right, but even though it may look more balanced, more depth, they're still going to rely heavily on one of the most dominant players in the league, their starting center, Joel Embiid, who is coming off a monster season where he put up numbers like 27.5 points a game, 13.5 rebounds last year, 2 blocks, 4 dimes a game. And there is no other way to describe Embiid's playing style other than he is an absolute bully. He's going to pound you down low, dunk it in your eyeball, and take no prisoners. He wants to rip your soul out, make you feel bad about yourself. One of the NBA's last true villains. That's why I love Embiid so much. Again, a true bully in every sense of the word. So one of the most diverse skill sets for a big man we've ever seen in the league as well. Maybe he takes a few too many three-pointers at times, but a menace down low. And my favorite thing about Embiid is that he is an alpha and he wants to win more than anything else in the world. Got his team so close last year to the ultimate prize. And look at how devastated he was. Tears after Kawhi Leonard's miracle game winner in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals to take Philly out of the postseason. Embiid, though, most of the time an unstoppable force. The only thing that can slow him down is injury, but he did play a career-high 64 games last season, so that's a positive sign. And he says he lost 25 pounds over the summer, so expect a mean-looking and motivated Joel Embiid this year. And then like Embiid, another player coming off an all-star season for Philly is the point guard Ben Simmons. He had 17 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists last year on 56% shooting. So pretty gaudy statistics, and that is despite not making any threes last year. We know that's the story with him. It's the biggest question mark heading into the season for Simmons. Could he be shooting jump shots, though? In this preseason, he did make his first ever NBA three-pointer against the Guangzhou Lions. So, teammates and the fans in Philly loved that moment. Hopefully he has improved it over the summer, though. He's still just 23 years old, and I just want to mention Derrick Rose shot 22% from 3 his first year in the league. Second year wasn't much better at 27%, but he continued to work at it, eventually got a respectable jumper, and then in turn won the MVP in his 3rd season. Ben Simmons still has the same kind of MVP potential to me. I know people might be a little bit lower on him from last year. It seems like in the postseason when the game slows down, he's not as effective, but Simmons has the potential if he continues to work on that jump shot and maybe shoots more threes this year. People love to focus though on what Ben can't do. His strengths are incredible though. He's big, strong, fast, sensational passing vision and accuracy. The ball handling is there, finishing in the paint, rebounding, defense. He's got a great skill set for the NBA. Only problem with pairing these 2 stars together, Simmons and Embiid, other than the fact that they're both not great outside shooters, Embiid tends to dominate more in the half court. Simmons likes to do more of his damage in the fast break. So I think we're going to see plenty of staggered minutes again this season with the 2 superstars, but I expect another all-star season from the young Aussie point guard. And someone this year who should help Simmons is the addition of Al Horford. He'll be the backup center, too, when Embiid goes out early in the first quarter. I think Horford could be a perfect sidekick for Simmons. His ability to run the floor, knock down three-pointers at a high clip, act as that last line of defense. Horford has a very versatile skill set in his own right, so that should open things up a lot for Simmons this season. And then they also have the other new guy in this starting lineup, Josh Richardson, who they got from the Miami Heat, a career 37% three-point shooter. And he's a good young two-way wing who can play offense and defense, can pass out of the pick and roll, come off of screens, and score in a myriad of ways. And he won't be asked to do as much as he did in Miami, so that should free him up, get a ton of open looks, get a lot of those Redick-like looks. We know J.J. Redick is now in New Orleans this season, but I expect a good year from Richardson. And then Tobias Harris may be the X factor for this team. He was playing like an all-star as a Clipper last year before getting traded to Philly, and then it was kind of an awkward fit from the start. You had Simmons and Embiid, and you also had Jimmy Butler, so I think Harris will benefit the most from Jimmy Butler being in Miami. Certainly less mouths to feed. And for Harris, we know he's got a smooth game. The combo forward can create his own shot off the dribble. And he'll be relied on heavily for floor spacing, 40% from three last year. And my question about Harris, will Brett Brown rely on him more to close games, kind of be in that Jimmy Butler closer role? It's tough late in games. In the last 2 minutes, Simmons and Embiid both, you want a more prototypical wing scorer to close games. Guys like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, who can nail that final dagger from outside. And maybe that's going to be Harris's role this year. He could be the closer. I think it's going to be very interesting to see, though, how he's used. And coming back for his 7th season with Philly, the head coach Brett Brown, owner of the best accent in the NBA. Don't really know how to describe it, but if you don't know it by now, just check out a video where he's speaking because it's great. But Brown, fun fact about him, maybe not so fun for Brett Brown, 2nd worst winning percentage all time for a head coach with 6 or more years of experience in the NBA. He's 178 and 314. That's just a 36% winning percentage. Of course, a lot of that came with the tanking Philly teams of a few years ago. But on the other hand, he's a 4-time NBA champion as an assistant coach with the Spurs. 7th year this year, and he's got to make sure all this talent and size mesh together. I believe the Sixers can win a championship with Brett Brown as their head coach, but with Simmons and Embiid being the centerpieces, they can't wait forever. They're 23 and 25 years of age, respectively, so the future is looking bright, but we've seen this story before. The windows close quickly, so there's no excuse for Brett Brown this season. I think he's got to deliver. As for the expectations surrounding Philly, they've got the 2nd highest over-under win total set by Vegas this year, just after the Milwaukee Bucks, so their targeted range 54.5 wins is their number. In terms of hitting that over-under, I think much of that will hinge on Embiid's health. Like I said, with the Clippers regular season preview and their Kawhi, Paul George load management, it's going to be the same story with Embiid. How often does he play? I feel like Vegas, though, is banking on this team just having enough sheer talent to win 50-plus games, even if Embiid sits out 20 or so games. But they are looking at a title or bust kind of season. Embiid heading into his 4th season, Simmons heading into his 3rd year. They paid huge money to bring back Tobias Harris, 5 years, $180 million contract. They also brought in the consummate professional in Al Horford. More athleticism on the wings, too. So it's all coming together. This is definitely a championship or bust, though, season. And what I predict for the Sixers this year, I think it's the 2nd straight season this team has the best, most talented starting 5 in the league. I think a lot of people are already penciling in a Milwaukee-Philadelphia Eastern Conference Finals. Here's what I like, though, the most about Philly. It's that nothing fuels a championship quite like getting your heart broken. Whether it's, we've seen it so many times with the San Antonio Spurs back in 2014, to win after Ray Allen crushed their dreams a year earlier, or the Washington Capitals in hockey using years of heartbreak to fuel a title run in 2018. We also saw France losing the 2016 Euros on home soil, coming back and winning the World Cup just 2 years later in 2018. Heartbreak motivates, and that is what Philly has going for them this year. They finally got their heart broken last year by Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors, and I think it's no more games being played, no more Mr. Nice Guy. They're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, and this year they have the experience, the talent, and the determination to make a run all the way to the NBA Finals. Unfortunately, my prediction, I see their journey ending in the finals, losing to the mighty Los Angeles Lakers behind LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think the Sixers make it to the finals, but just fall barely short this year. Certainly, though, it wouldn't shock me if they won the whole thing, and the expectations should be through the roof for this talented squad. So please leave a comment. Let me know how you think Philly will do this season. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. I'll be back very soon with more basketball preview content. Thanks a lot. Cheers.